My name is Robert Ross, for those of you that don't know me, and I'm the principal at Triton Junior Senior High, and it's my pleasure to welcome you tonight to our 7th annual Triton Hall of Fame banquet. It's hard to believe 7 years have gone by as quickly as they have. I've told the story before, and I'll tell it again. I still remember the day that we interviewed Mason for the athletic director position, and one of the things we asked him was, what is it you would like to see from this athletic program? What's one thing you would really like to do that we haven't done before? And this is what he said. And it took a few years for him to get it around, get it organized, but ever since we have, it's just been a great thing. And people will talk about it. They'll see the Wall of Fame, or the Hall of Fame wall outside the gym. And it's always fun to have other schools ask and say, wow, how neat is this that such a small school can have this many great people associated with its athletic programs. So we are very appreciative to Mason for putting it together, and the fact that we've had the successes that we've had here with our athletes. So with that being said, on behalf of the administration, superintendent, our school board, once again, I'd like to welcome everybody this evening, and I'm going to turn it over to our athletic director and dean of students, Mr. Mason McIntyre.
Thank you, Bob. Well, good evening. On behalf of the school corporation, the Athletic Hall of Fame Selection Committee, and the inductees themselves, I welcome you to the 7th Annual Hall of Fame Induction Banquet. As Mr. Ross said, my name is Mason McIntyre, and I'm the Dean of Students and the Athletic Director at Triton Junior Senior High School. As a Triton High School graduate, it's an honor for me to stand before you today to recognize this group of individuals. And it's an opportunity that I feel to give back to the school and the community who's given so much to me. Tonight I want to introduce a few people before we get started. We have a couple members of our school board who are with us here tonight. We have our Vice President, Kevin Boyer, and member Steve Stichter. We also have with us tonight our superintendent, Mrs. Donna Burrows, and of course our principal, Robert Ross. I also want to introduce our selection committee, and this committee helps choose the candidates each year. We have with us tonight Ken Blackford, Hal Kuntz, Dwayne Walters, and Roger Shorey. We do have a few guests with us tonight that I would like to recognize, and these are current members of our Athletic Hall of Fame. The first one with us tonight is Coach Ron Smith from the Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2011. We have Justina Reichert-Faulkner from the class of 2012. Jamie Irwin from the class of 2013. We have Kurt Anders from the class of 2014. We have Ryan Meister from the class of 2014. And we also have Hal Kuntz, who was a member of the class of 2015 when we inducted the boys semi-state team. So thank you for those of you that came back. It's a great honor to see you guys here tonight to witness this induction. Since the school's inception during the 1963-1964 school year, many athletes have worn the blue and gold. And while all Triton athletes have played an important role in the success of our department, the Hall of Fame will recognize those individuals who set themselves apart on the playing fields of Triton High School and beyond. These athletes, whom we will recognize tonight, won acclaim for running the fastest, for winning championships, and otherwise distinguishing themselves in high school and college athletics. It's with great joy and excitement that I stand before you tonight to honor 4 Trojan legends in the 7th Annual Hall of Fame Induction Banquet. These people, Mike Byron, Coach Bob Burris, Sharon Patterson-Doan, and Max Anders, are some of the finest that Triton High School has ever seen. And we're so honored that they were able to be with us this evening to celebrate their great accomplishments. You know, in our research and discussion about Hall of Fame candidates, it's become clear to me that defining and describing success is not an easy task. But it's the job of the selection committee to try to determine traits that they feel are important to this Hall of Fame and are important to recognize when being selected. And I have to say that this selection committee has done an outstanding job over the years selecting individuals to be recognized in our Hall of Fame. In 1883, a creative engineer named John Roebling was inspired by an idea to build a spectacular bridge connecting New York with Long Island. However, bridge building experts throughout the world thought that this was an impossible feat, and they told Roebling to forget the idea. But Roebling could not ignore the vision that he had in his mind. He thought about it all the time, and he knew in his heart that this bridge could indeed be built. After much discussion and persuasion, he convinced his son, Washington, an up-and-coming engineer, to help him build the bridge. The father and son duo developed a concept of how it could be accomplished and how the obstacles could be overcome. With great excitement, they hired a crew and they began building the bridge. The project started well, but only a couple months underway, a tragic accident on the work site took the life of John Roebling. His son Washington was also injured, and he was left with a certain amount of brain damage, resulting in him not being able to talk or walk. But in spite of his handicap, Washington was never discouraged and still had a burning desire to complete the bridge. As he lay on his hospital bed, with the sunlight coming through the window, a slight breeze blew the curtains apart, and he could see outside. He could see the sky, and he could see the trees for just a moment. It seemed to him that it was a message, and the message was not to give up. Suddenly, an idea hit him. All he could do was move one single finger, and he decided to make the most of it. By moving his finger, he slowly developed a way of communication with his wife. He communicated by tapping her arm with his finger. And he told her to contact the engineers and the crew and to get them working on the bridge again. For 13 years, Washington tapped out these instructions with his finger until the bridge was finally completed. Today, this spectacular Brooklyn Bridge stands in all its glory as a tribute to the dedication and persistence of Washington Roebling, who stayed with his dream and never gave up. Perhaps this is one of the best examples of a never say die attitude, because often when we face obstacles in our day-to-day lives, or the hurdles that we seem to have may seem small in comparison to what others may face. The Brooklyn Bridge shows us that dreams that seem impossible can be realized with dedication and persistence. As I told you earlier, the selection committee must find common traits when trying to define success and select a class for our Hall of Fame. And I think one common trait represented in this year's class is dedication and persistence. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2017 knew the difference that staying the course would make. And tonight, we'll hear the stories of dedication and persistence of Michael Byron, who gave 14 years to the Triton Athletic Department as the athletic director. You'll hear the story of Coach Bob Burris and his commitment to seeing young people excel in athletics, coaching for 17 years in a variety of sports. We will recount the many stories and accomplishments of Sharon Patterson and Max Anders, two of Triton's finest student athletes. You see, it's because of these great coaches, athletes, and contributors that the Triton Athletic Department has been so successful over the years. These individuals were determined to be dedicated to our school and our community, and their dedication has made all the difference. I'm so honored to have the honor to stand before you and recognize these individuals tonight and to share their stories with you. With the creation of this Hall of Fame, Mike Byron, Coach Bob Burris, Sharon Patterson, and Max Anders will forever be remembered. I thank each of them for their service and their contributions to not only the Triton Athletic Department, but to the entire Triton community. And most importantly, I thank them for defining success and for setting a standard for every student athlete who will follow in their footsteps. I'd like to thank the staff here at Back 40 Catering for providing the meal. Let's give them a round of applause. I also need to take a quick moment to let you know that if you are a coach who's won 2 state championships, I want to know what that gets you. It gets you forgotten, because that's exactly what I did to Mark Heater tonight. He was on my list as a Hall of Fame member who is in attendance tonight, and I just skipped right over him. So 2 state championships doesn't mean anything, Mark. But thanks for coming. I hate it when we make errors like that, but it happens. So now is the time that we've all been waiting for, the induction of the class of 2017 in the Triton Athletic Hall of Fame. As I said before, the class of 2017 have set themselves apart from the many coaches, athletes, and contributors of Triton High School. Tonight, we will honor and recognize these individuals by officially inducting them into the Triton Athletic Hall of Fame.